ready. Here we go. Hi.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
Good. You could just go in this door right here down these stairs.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I do. When the client opened the door, I definitely knew who she was. It's Sheana Shay.
My name is Sheana Shay. I'm probably best known for the reality show Vanderpump Rules. Hi. Welcome. Good. So I thought maybe we could hang outside, have a nice view.
Totally.
I've lived mid-city for the last 12 years. I just didn't want to be at that apartment anymore. It was where I shared a lot of memories with my ex-husband, and I just felt like I needed a change. It's a little overcast today. So I have my mom here today watching. She's been a huge fan of Tyler's, and it was just really important that my mom be here with me today so we could share this experience together.
Love this.
Thanks.
This is
nice
like
view.
Exactly the place to take a nap.
Yeah. I just want to see him in action with the scribbles and just all of the facial expressions and all of that, like everything I see on the show. I'm so excited to be able to see in person.
Well, today, as this happens, anybody can technically come through. I see we have some objects, which definitely helps. Cool. I'm gonna hold on to these because there's a lot coming in.
There is a certain person I'm hoping will come through, but I just kind of want to let him do his thing.
Okay. There's a circumstance where basically on mom's side of family, I have a woman that's coming through, but I definitely feel like I have to talk about like grandma level with an M name, and I feel like I have to highlight that. So in the way this is coming in, there's this reference to, do you know the, I think how to describe this. There's this old lady, I'm seeing a symbol. There's like a whole brand of handbags. Like they have like little, it's like a cartoon on it of an old woman. I'm trying to remember what this is.
Oh my God, I know what he means. I know what he has to be meaning right now.
They're basically like, I'm trying to remember what the name of them is. Give me one sec.
Yeah, there were these like little comics. It was this old lady named Maxine.
Gotcha.
And there were like all different little quotes.
Yes. That was the thing.
My mom's name. That's my mom's name.
So do you have any connection to that or in any way?
Yes.
Okay, cool. They connected to the Maxine thing?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason I need to kind of bring this up is because she's bringing forward this understanding of the decline or the health stuff. But the timing when she actually passed, it's almost kind of like, oh no, that shouldn't have happened when it happened. So it's kind of one of those situations where like, I knew something was wrong with me, wasn't feeling great, but then this just kind of happened, and there's some feeling of like it being abrupt.
Yeah, so that would be my mom's mom. Her name was Maxine.
Yes.
So right when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh.
Gotcha.
She had a stroke, and it was very sudden. I saw her that morning, asked her to feed my betta fish for me, and I said, I'll see you tomorrow. And she always just said, I'll see you tomorrow, I'll see you in the morning. And it was just,
there's this feeling of like, I'm good, I'm accepting, and it's my time to pass. The feeling was, I need family to know I was thinking about like how long I had left and came to terms with this like beforehand.
God, I needed that.
Oh man, there's something funny about grandma being able to see that a man wasn't good for a woman and verbalizing it, and then at the end, the relationship ended up working out, and she was like, I told you so, but in a loving way. And it keeps coming through. She's kind of joking. She's like, didn't want to give it to you fully, but now you know, like you knew where I was coming from.
literally that note.
Yeah, really?
That's so crazy.
No way.
Yeah, high school
like,
boyfriend.
Really?
Sheana had moved in with my mom after my dad had passed, and she would write her notes.
And there were several notes that she had left me that had just given me advice about this person. So and I wanted to get one of the things from one of the notes right here. There's a tattoo that she had the most beautiful writing.
Yes.
And one of them that I was reading, she just said, please always remember that love is kind, patient, and considerate. It's not jealous. And then she goes, I care very much for you and Paul, but like she just knew that that wasn't the person for me.
Right.
But this note was the one that I just most like, I felt had the most feeling behind it, and I haven't read this in 15 years. And she just said, Sheana, thank you for being thoughtful enough to call me and let me know your plans, because anytime I would go out with my high school boyfriend at the time, she always wanted to know where I was and make sure I was safe. And I'm so sorry I've been so blah lately. My mood has been bad for quite a while. I hope in time I'll be able to handle things better. Please have patience with me. Lots of love, Puna. And I hadn't read this in years until last night, and I was just like, I don't even remember her ever being unpleasant or unkind or rude or anything like this. Reading these notes again 15 years later, I'm like, wow, I can apply those things in my life now.
Are there any questions that you have currently?
Yeah. I mean, personally, yeah, like there is one person in particular in my life who our relationship, friendship changed, and now trying to figure out where to go from there. Met him when I was with my ex-boyfriend, so there was not even a thought of any romantic connection whatsoever. We just became amazing friends, and then 4th of July this year, we crossed that line. And it came down to are we gonna date or not? And he said he wasn't ready, and I said, okay, then I'm gonna continue dating. But then that became an issue, and we're just in this very up and down place right now. And I'm just like, can I go and can we do this just as friends, or are we gonna keep fighting and doing this up and down thing we've been doing the last 2 months?
Okay, cool. Interesting. This is weird. When we were talking, they were pretty clearly like coming through and basically like talking about cutting the cord, and like it doesn't feel intuitively right to me to like maintain that in a romantic way. Friend way, sure, but like,
Agreed.
So it's just kind of probably best to let that exist for what it's worth, and to honor it for what it's worth, but also to know that, you know, it's not maybe the one. Yeah. You know.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I would say is, for some reason, there's kind of acknowledging like this 6-month period, and I feel like we're in it. It just feels kind of like a processing period is the way I would describe it.
Okay.
And then I see like other opportunities, launching pads, but your love life, they're just kind of like, let it be, let it be. Like this is a time to focus on career, development, health, well-being.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give a
now
little
is the time to just focus on Sheana.
Yes, exactly.
I think my grandma Puna would definitely be happy about Tyler's advice to stay single. And I know she would just tell me to focus on myself and my career, and that's the most important thing right now. I'm in a place in my life right now where I don't have any expectations, and I'm just kind of going with the flow and focusing on myself and my work and the things that I am in control of, and anything else that comes along will be a pleasant surprise.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So cool.
Do you want your scribble by chance?
Yes, of course.
We went through a couple, but yeah, there's that.
Oh my gosh.
For ya.
That was an incredible experience. Like literally everything he said was so spot on. Yeah, it was really cool.
Well, if you ever need me, I'm always here.
Thank you.
Of course, anytime.
Awesome.
All right. Say hello to everyone for me.
You too. That was so cool. Whew. That was amazing. Everything I thought it would be in there.
We could change the world, you and I.
Chilling out.
She could not care less about me right now. Yo, emotional support companion, where you at? I'm Lala Kent. I am known for a show called Vanderpump Rules, and I also do music.
Do you guys all fly in specifically for the weekend?
Yes.
Wow.
Today, watching from the other room is my mom, Lisa, my oldest brother, Brandon, and my younger brother, Easton.
Hello.
Hi, honey. I'm Lala. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, of course.
I believe in everything that Tyler brings to the table, so I'm gonna have you right here.
Yeah.
I'm ready to sit down and take some deep breaths and dive into it.
My mom is a huge fan. I'm not sure exactly which one it is. Is it Housewives of Beverly Hills or is it OC?
Vanderpump
Vanderpump,
Rules.
oh my God, that's so
Yes.
embarrassing. My mom loves you
No,
though. Like,
don't be embarrassed. The
'cause-
mamas love
yes,
Vanderpump Rules.
she loves it. So she always, I've heard your name, Lala, obviously, it's unforgettable. Wonderful to meet with you.
Today, something that I've been looking forward to
Gotcha.
and very much needed.
Now, when I do a reading, my goal is to just get specific information, details. I just kind of start meditating and start getting impressions, and we'll see where it leads. The reality is when I deliver a message, it's a group effort. Not only do I have my loved ones on my side coming through, but I also have my spirit guides and also the client's loved ones trying to communicate information. So we use anybody that can come through to deliver a message. So before we start, I know you have some objects there, which is great. I'm not even gonna quite touch them yet.
How do you go about asking a question?
Well, we could like kind of pick a general area. So usually like family, health, love, and career.
Babies?
Absolutely.
That
For sure. So I'm just gonna give it 1 sec. And we'll see what happens. That. Okay. Gotcha. 3. That's interesting. I saw a 3, and you don't strike me as someone who would have 3 children. It just is like, when I look at you intuitively, I don't know. It's the weirdest thing because it feels like a non-traditional. It's like, I'm not seeing you birthing 3 children, but I'm seeing one at least.
Yeah.
So, biologically.
Perfect.
Yeah,
You want to know what's so crazy? Can I tell you this?
Tell me.
The person I'm with right now, he has 2 girls that I basically love like they're my own. So that would make so much sense that
Right.
you say 3.
I definitely feel like there's so much you could give a child and have so much to provide. So, again, I feel like that'd be great.
And we feel the same way. She's like so maternal. So maternal.
And then like the 2 to 3 year mark, I kind of like
Okay.
starting to think about it.
That's what I've spoken about with my boyfriend multiple times, that we want to wait that amount of time. So for Tyler to say it, it kind of just gives the stamp of approval, like, okay, there is no rush. I'm on the right path.
They are having me hold on to that watch, so we're gonna see what happens. Thank you. Fabulous. Okay. Perfect. Okay.
I have had a great loss in my life that happened within a matter of months ago, and yeah. I just need it makes me angry that I don't have him anymore. I just need to feel a connection.
So they're bringing me to a discussion about the very end of someone's life, and they're bringing me in the context of this man that I feel like I have to bring up, and really connected to watch. When he comes through, he, for some reason, is having me acknowledge, like, expecting to have more time. I'm not super young when I die, but I'm not super old when I die either. And so there's this kind of feeling of being a little bit kind of closer to the middle. Basically, like, I wasn't ready to go, shouldn't have gone when I went. I mean, the timing of this just keeps bringing up the timing and like not being convenient, not that there's ever a convenient time. But when this comes through, he basically just kind of acknowledges he wasn't able to say everything he wanted to say to the people he wanted to say it to. Can you relate to anybody passing away closer to that time frame or went
Yeah,
before
my
his
dad.
time? I'm so sorry.
I used to buy my dad nice watches all the time, and that was the only thing he would ever wear. I think he went and got it at Walmart, and he wore it every single day, and he loved it. That's what I look at, and I'm like, oh, it's my dad.
Okay, they're bringing up. They're bringing up dad. It basically feels as it's coming in that he's trying to kind of comfort
Okay.
the living people left behind in this. So that's good to keep in mind.
That is so your dad.
They're having me talk about the 3. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, they're having me talk about a reference of 3 siblings. So do you know where the 3 siblings would be within family?
Me and my 2 brothers.
Nice. So the way that they're bringing this up, this is something you might have to actually check with the brother situation, because they're having me talk about the 2 boys. They're having me talk about having plans with one of them. They're having me talk about, it's like a mutual understanding, but this just keeps coming through in more of a business way. 1 sec. Keep in mind they are referencing to an E name within family. I can't tell who this is, but I'm seeing just like an E. Do you have any E names within the family?
My little brother, Easton.
Nice. And Dad's putting a very strong emphasis on him.
Yeah, my dad was in real estate development and wanted to kind of bring my younger brother into that with him. You know, every little business venture that my dad would kind of step into in his older age, he always wanted Easton to be a part of it in some capacity.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think he's just proud of him and wants him to keep that going and keep that entrepreneurial spirit and the investments.
Totally.
And I think he'll even kind of be there for your brother intuitively, like helping him know what to do and like guiding him. So tell him that. And, like,
I will.
Let him know. I want you to look into this. He's having me bring up a very specific situation where he's separating another person. He's showing me like tying up loose ends. Basically, he did not get to tie up loose ends. For some reason, they're bringing up like the separate relationship situation, and he's very strongly putting an emphasis on older brother and wanting to acknowledge that dynamic of how he feels about his relationship with him. It's kind of weird because it feels like with younger brother, it's like totally different dynamic than older brother. The way I would say it is it almost feels like they would have different definitions of dad in some way. Your dad kind of prioritizes the younger brother aspect, and the older brother aspect feels like it kind of either it didn't get the attention it needed in some way, and that kind of keeps coming through.
Yeah, me and my younger brother have the same mom. And my older brother's mom and my dad split up when he was so young that I would say, it sounds so terrible, but my dad was more involved in mine and my younger brother's lives.
Okay. It basically feels as it's coming in that he just acknowledges wishing that he kind of could have tied those loose ends at the very end in certain ways, and it just doesn't feel for some reason that he was able to. It's important, I think, in the way this comes through, just to validate that brother, to say that there was still love there, and oftentimes it's their way of almost taking accountability for maybe what they didn't see in life. When it comes through, the message there is that if he could do it over, he would have showed a little bit more love to brother and would have made that clear. He doesn't want your older brother to feel left out. He's just emphasizing him. He's basically, I'm seeing like lassoing him in, which is always a way of trying to say like, we want to include this person. We want to bring them up because they need to feel validated.
Can I grab a tissue?
Absolutely. Okay. Okay, give me 1 sec. I feel like I have to talk about Mom. He really just emphasizes your mom moving on, wanting your mom to move on. Like he
Don't
keeps,
say that.
I know, right? He keeps coming through, like wanting her to be able to move on. The way this kind of comes through, he's like doing this, and when they do that, it's always a way of saying, trying to orchestrate a meeting with someone. So as weird as it sounds, like if she ends up big with someone else, he's kind of bringing up like helping them connect, because there's still a feeling of like she needs love, and I feel like she's gonna get it, and he would want her to continue having happiness. It's important.
She lost her life partner. I can't even imagine just losing someone you've been with from the age of 18. And so for her to hear that my dad is like, I'm good, she needed that today. My dad's Kent, and he was just kind, you know? He was truly an angel on this earth. Never judged anyone.
Yeah.
Never spoke badly about anybody. The reading, it wasn't much about me, and I know why. He and I were just like this. I never felt like anything went unspoken. I never felt like we went a minute without not being on the same page. So for me, this was more about like, I needed to make sure that my family was good, you know?
And he knew that, and that's why he brought that forward today. And when he comes through, he's so much more focused on everybody else and making sure.
Sounds so like him. Yeah, the questions are answered on my end.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you.
I'm so glad they were here today.
This is my older brother, Brandon.
Oh, of course. I hope that today you guys got some comfort, and it sounds like the message were very kind of different for both of you.
Yeah.
Did that bring you any sort of comfort?
Yeah. There was a touch there that was pretty good to hear, to be honest. Just with our past situation and stuff like that, a little bit of it was
Of course.
pretty good.
Good.
So, that was good.
I'm so glad.
Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you so much.
You brought so much to our
Thank
family
you.
today, so thank you.
Oh, of course, Lala. I'm so good to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank
I'm always
you.
here if you need me, all right?
Thank you, my love. Have a
Okay.
great day.
Have a good one.
Bye. I feel very calm now, knowing that my dad is focused on what our family needs. That brought so much comfort to my heart. I feel
That was amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, that was some weird.
I would get angry about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I'm not angry anymore.
To my babies, huh? My babies, huh?
So I'm here at a lounge in the middle of Hollywood, about ready to go and do a reading, and I don't really have much coming through for the client. I'm just kind of overwhelmed with all of this. Hello, how are you? Hi. Oh my gosh, great to meet you.
I'm Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
I'm Stassi. I'm Kristen Doty. And I'm Stassi Schroeder. And Tyler might recognize us from a little show on Bravo called Vanderpump Rules. She used to be like really crazy, but she's totally calmed down. I mean, she still has like her moments, like when she's drunk at 4 a.m, but
And feisty and a little erratic.
well, yeah,
In a positive way.
most of the time. I feel like people do spells here.
I love it. I know. It looks like we're gonna whip out the
it's-
Ouija board now.
Yeah. We heard about Tyler because we're obsessed with E and watched the show.
Yeah, I've been watching Tyler since like episode 1. And we just went like the buffet. We want to know everything. Little bits of everything.
Are you both interested in medium readings, or
Yes.
cool? And at this point, I think I'll just hold on to any objects. Thanks. Awesome. Perfect. Great. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Okay. Immediately have to highlight. I'm seeing a Christmas present, which to me always references to a gift. I'm holding on to this, but I'm viewing this as a gift.
That my grandpa.
Oh no way! Oh well, good. Did I?
And that was a gift
He gave that to my grandma
Right.
for her birthday. I don't know, 60th or 60th birthday, and she gave it to me. They gave it to me.
Right. Oh, I
As a
love
gift.
that. Nice.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. What was his first name?
John.
John. He also so he was not the only John, and I just need to specify. There's 2, and he's having me acknowledge this other John that I'm needing to bring up.
Yeah, there's a junior. Yeah.
I have to acknowledge John, and then I feel like I have to reference to the 2 brothers. So would John have a brother?
Yes.
Okay. Mention them. Do you know if anyone had any connections to anything farming or agricultural?
Oh my God, that's so weird.
Because I'm seeing like an orchards weirdly. It's coming through.
Yeah, my grandfather owned a garden center for like, I don't know, 40 years. My Uncle John runs it.
Awesome. That's what I was getting at. So the reason why I need to bring that up is
Oh my
because
God.
I had to highlight John, and I got the thumbs up with this, and basically a thank you for continuing this.
It just blew, I don't even, yeah, that just blew my mind.
He's coming through, and he's having me talk about his health. There's also a feeling, though, of like pretty rapid progression. He's acknowledging the last 2 months of his life. I feel like this kind of goes pretty quick. And the feeling that comes through from this individual is actually that they were holding on from passing because they didn't want the timing of their death to kind of soil, a time that people should normally be happy. Feeling is, I don't want to die on Christmas. I don't want to die on New Year's. Does that make sense on your end?
Yeah, he had brain cancer.
Right.
For like 3 years, I believe.
Right.
But it was like kind of fine for a while,
Sure.
and then just kind of took a turn, and he made it through that Christmas, then he died. And it was just very like,
Tragic.
yeah. I have a really hard time being around people who are sick,
Sure.
and he has a hard time being around people who like to cry when
Exactly.
he was sick.
Right.
And so I would go, but then could never be in the room, and it made me feel really.
Sure. Now, I want you to know he was waiting when he passed for people to leave. And I know that this is random in the way this comes across, but he was waiting for people to go. And sometimes people wait for people to come. He was waiting for people to leave. Didn't matter to him to have a whole everybody around him in this moment. He feels like he lived every single day telling people how he felt about them from his perspective. He feels like we don't need this goodbye because you know what terms I'm on. So please know that. It's a lot of emotion.
I don't live where my family lives. I wasn't there like taking care of him. I felt really guilty that I wasn't around, or that I didn't come home more often, or that I wasn't there when it actually happened. And it's just like a really burden to feel. It was just seriously just such a weight that I don't have to like wonder and think or feel sad that I wasn't there when he left. That's the way he wanted it. What Grandpa says goes. So, but I needed this, and I needed to hear that from Tyler. So it's like, thank you.
Do you know who went to France? I don't know what this is. I'm seeing the Eiffel Tower. This is clearly, I'm seeing a France, I'm seeing a France trip. The feeling that comes through is someone within family would have gone, and it's a female, would have gone on a trip to France, but it's like the only family member in the entire family that would have ever gone to this place. And I would check and see if someone like just had gone to a France trip, was going to go on this trip, and then gets news that somebody passes.
I have something in my head, but I wanted to ask my mom.
Oh.
Like, am I allowed to like text her?
Oh yeah, you can text your mom.
I can?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, this is your time. Go for it. We'll check. Let's see. I think I would check and see if she had gone to Paris or if there had been a discussion about going to Paris, and then.
I know. My mom moved to London like the second day she got there.
Okay.
That's when she found out her dad had died.
Okay, because I'm very clearly seeing a plane going on a trip to France.
Oh my God. I'm shaking. I'm gonna throw up. She goes, I was in London one night, then Dad died. I flew home for service, went back, and I was lucky enough to take a 3-day trip to Paris while I was there.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. And what was his first name?
Daryl.
Daryl.
I knew my mom decided to move to London for 6 months, and the second day that she was there, she found out that her father had died, so she went back home and then came back out to London, and I didn't know that she right away went to Paris for 3 days. I had no idea.
Unbelievable.
That is so crazy.
Do you know of the situation where a woman goes like years and years without the male counterpart? It looks like man dies, and then we go through about a decade
I'm
or so
gonna
after.
throw up. Oh my God.
And then she lives after this, after that. So does that make sense for you?
Yes.
I never know how a client's going to respond or validate. And sometimes they get really interesting reactions. Whether it's Snooki screaming, stop, or those two telling me that they're gonna throw up on me, I view it as a good sign.
That was like your grandfather. Who was that?
Yes, my grandmama,
Awesome.
my mom's mom, yeah. Grandmother Patty, and Daryl, my mom's dad. And he passed away before she did. But like when he did, she was just like a complete different person.
She's really connected to your mother. And this is interesting in the way this comes through because I don't think that she ever really knew how to process her own emotions. And there's an apology for this because they ultimately either got misdirected or not expressed at all.
Yeah.
The reality is she knows from her perspective that certain things weren't warranted. She doesn't feel she was fair with your mom. And she's apologetic to your mom and saying, I'm sorry I wasn't fair, but I could have never seen that in life. The feelings like could have never acknowledged it. Your grandmother, though she's lovely, comes across and there's a feeling of almost like, I'm the victim. I'm the one being victimized. This is being done to me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense.
Awesome.
Absolute sense.
Great.
Yes. It is so crazy that Tyler was able to get all of the relationships and dynamics in my family correct. He is not making this up. Like,
Yeah.
he is dead on.
Thank you. Let me figure out what this is. Thank you. Okay. This is a message I want to kind of deliver, and it's something they do frequently say, but it comes through extra in this case. She does not want her death to be how we remember her when it comes to like her life. And just recently there was a conversation that was had. People were basically like, look, let's focus on her life. And I need to emphasize this because she's coming through a lot. She's having me talk about her passing and the circumstances that she went. She doesn't feel like when she went, she had full closure with the people around her. It's almost like I want there to be a release of any anger, any frustration, any resentment, any family tension, any family conflict. She wasn't able to have closure or really convey her feelings to the full extent. And the feeling is basically, I die without being able to have a resolve.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
The most amount of sense. I mean, do you want me to?
Sure.
I don't know whether.
At this point, you can. Yeah.
No, we don't know how she died. My grandmother Patty, my mom, they had been like estranged for a little while. They were super close but super up and down.
Right.
And my mom got a weird feeling at a party and made my dad take her home and just like felt uneasy for a while. And then she had made my dad go over to her house a couple days later to check on her, and she was dead. And so she had been there for a few days, and no one knows if she committed suicide or if she accidentally killed herself because she was on medication for things. And so she would take a pill, go to sleep, and then maybe she woke up, forgot she took it, or did she, like, we don't know. And that's like haunted my mom, and like we talk about it like all the time.
Sure. Let me see what we've got. Ooh, okay. There are no real feelings of, I killed myself here. There's no real feelings of, I committed suicide. People have said that they would have left a note, and the feeling that comes through from her end is basically like, I don't feel like I'm in the mindset when this happens to kill myself. That's not my mindset. That's not what I'm intending to do. She, from her end, has released this. She wants you to know she didn't kill herself.
Okay. That's super intense.
It's a lot, I'm sure.
The fact that you've just been telling me that it was not her choice, it was not suicide. My mom's had to live with that for the last 23 years. Like that, I could not imagine like how that weighs on somebody's head.
Absolutely.
And the fact that I can tell her that, it's really cool.
So glad.
It's like a freaking 48 hours episode. Like to like have like a death be solved, that's like a big deal. Like it's a really big deal.
Yeah.
It's not just someone coming in being like, I'm very proud of you. Like, no, like the death was not my choice. It was not my fault. I didn't want for that to happen. Like that's insane. Since she's died, all of the focus has been on her death, and now we can talk about her in a more uplifting way. That it's priceless. It's life-changing.
Thank you guys.
No, thank you.
Like,
you don't realize like the peace you're gonna give to like my mom.
Oh my God, I know.
Like that's gonna change her life. My mom and my grandmother both took each other for granted. I never want to pass on or have my mom pass on and have those unanswered questions or regret how I was with her. And like I'm very thankful for Tyler for that. This has been really cool.
I'm so glad.
Now let's go get a glass of wine.
No. Mind blown.
I know. I feel like I can't I can't string sentences together right now. That was so intense.
Hello. I see Lisa walking towards me, and I'm absolutely floored. So wonderful to see you. How are you?
I'm Lisa Vanderpump. For the past 7 years, I've been on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And also, I have my own show, Vanderpump Rules. Welcome to Pump.
Oh my gosh, this is beautiful.
Come
I'm so
in.
happy to be here.
I'm a restaurateur, and we're in my restaurant, Pump. And because I built it, I feel very kind of at home here, so to speak. Do you know me? Have you watched me on television?
I have watched you on television.
So you know me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a skeptic and I'm not 1,000% believer. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, really, because I've done 250 episodes of reality television. People know a lot about my life. So it's going to be interesting to see what he brings to me.
As of right now, I have about 2 people that are going to try to come through. But I always like to do the majority of the talking.
That freaks me out. Even now you're just saying that. You mean 2 people that have passed that are kind of trying to come through?
Yes, like insistently. And they're going to come through really strongly.
Okay, yeah, because we lost somebody. And he was probably one of our closest friends.
Absolutely. I can give it a feel. I'll just kind of relay some details and we'll see what pops in. So I'm just going to scribble.
Okay.
And we'll see what comes in.
All right.
Alrighty. So I'm just going to take one moment. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I have a very different energy popping in. Okay, if there is any reference, he's giving me an M very strongly, and he's referring to a male name, and it almost is coming across as like Mark, but just remember that I'm saying it. He's putting significance on it. I'm thinking it's like Marco, Marcus.
Okay, Mark was his name.
No, really.
Yes, a very good friend of ours, like one of our best friends. But that's not what we called him, because we called him a nickname after his second name, Stannard, and we called him Stan. Everybody called him Stan, so nobody called him Mark.
Weird.
When he said Mark, I was thinking, okay, that's weird. That's just too weird, because nobody would know that.
The weird thing too is when I'm focusing on medical stuff, this seems really weird, and I just have to be honest in the way this comes through. If this is who we're referring to, there's a feeling of basically having a medical condition that would afflict people who'd be much older or in a situation in which it would not be normal for a younger person to develop this. The feeling is really rare. I don't know why I'm having to talk about rarity with this.
It was a rare situation, and he didn't know really what he had, so.
That not knowing aspect had to have been the hardest.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
It was a very sad situation, but
I'm sorry. I want it to be known when he's coming through, he's acknowledging that he timed his passing, and there was a situation where we have someone by our side and they're visiting and they're there, and it's like if they leave to go home, leave to take a shower, leave to go to the bathroom, then when this person leaves, we die.
Then he died, and we were there weeks outside his room. Then, you know, he died when we weren't in the room, and I remember driving the wrong way down the road because I was just so kind of like when I heard and rushed back to the hospital, but then he passed,
Yeah, he was free of pain. I feel like I have a sense of appreciation, and he acknowledges still being around both of you and your partner for years after. And what an incredible person for battling what he had to go through. I mean,
he was just a very lively character, and he used to go horse riding with us, and we built houses with him, and he was just a lot of fun, and he was a great friend.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it was really important for him to come through and acknowledge that he was timing his passing. He didn't want people to have to see him in that state. They want us to remember their lives and the memories that are made there, not their deaths.
Yeah. Life's all about saying goodbye, and we take that for granted, and then we only really kind of realize when something's gone, you know?
Having me pick up, actually, see that blue fabric? I might hold on to that if you don't mind. Yeah, that usually helps. So I'll just see there. There, thank you. Have this woman who comes through with such excitement, such joy. I mean, she comes through with just so much love. I'm gonna put this down really briefly. There you go. Okay, so she came through basically as a matriarch, but acknowledged not being a biological, like, mom for the client. This felt for me more on like a grandmotherly level. What was interesting is I was connecting more to your dad's side of family than your mom's side of family, which I thought was kind of interesting. So she acknowledges this whole reference of basically feeling like she was content with the duration of her life. Immediately when she comes through, there's a feeling of like, I feel like I lived a full life. I feel like I'm happy with the length of my life.
Yeah, she lived till she was 100.
Wow. The thing that she's having me acknowledge is from her perspective, she's mom. From her perspective. She's your mother from her perspective. Like,
really?
I can't make a change. She's like, I am Lisa's mom.
I've been very close to my grandmother, Nanny Kay. Certainly I was more emotionally connected to her. And this is one of her jackets.
Wow, that's amazing.
And she was absolutely forefront in my life.
Wow.
And she lived with me for a few months every year for 25 years since I got married.
Wow.
And she loved my husband, and to my children, she would almost be like not a great grandmother, grandmother. She was there every step of the way. And this picture This is a picture that's very poignant because that's when we first got Max, our son. He was just so recently adopted then, and Pandora, as you can see, she's 6. And Nanny Kay, as always, is with us. She was just a lovely, lovely woman.
Wow, what a sweetheart.
I kept thinking Tyler really did capture her essence of who she was. She's a very kind woman. Every day that she was with me in our house in England, we used to go out and we used to cut pink roses together, and we always used to, you know, kind of say, she just used to say, smell the flowers, smell it, and inhale the perfume of life, you know. And she was very much part of our immediate family. She was a comforting, warm, lovely lady, and I miss her so much.
She acknowledges that she was waiting for you before we even got here today. And she acknowledges that she knows that she's been talked to, asked to be around, like come through. There's a whole feeling of like, I was with you before you came today.
Where is she? She's been dead at least 10 years, and I have been calling for her. I'm thinking, why don't I see evidence of her speaking to me? Why is she the hummingbird? Is she the butterfly? Where is she? I just want to know that she's with me. But I've actually said to her, Nanny Kay, if you can hear me, let me know. I've done so many incredible things that she would have enjoyed so much.
Yes. It's so interesting because when she comes through, it's more of a personal connection. It's like if she's going to communicate to you, you're going to just kind of know or feel what she would have done. And that's more the way that she seems to connect. But that can be frustrating because it's less obvious. We want a clear billboard of a sign that shows that she's around. And I think if you really are open enough, you will feel her essence coming through what she would have done, what she would have said. And that is a more profound sign than any butterfly, any dragonfly. It just might not be as apparent visually. So it's a different kind of connection. It can be hard wondering, you know, how they feel. But I think you knew how your grandmother viewed you in life and her personality. So you know, no doubt she would have been proud of everything you went on to do. And that's important, so.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
So sweet.
I know.
Thank you. So sweet.
Life is so short, really. We learn that sometimes when we lose people. It was very comforting to know that, you know, she's still present in the universe and she's somehow connected to me still. All right, well, thank you so much.
Oh, it was so lovely.
So interesting. I really, really want to thank you.
Oh, I hope it helped.
Sorry I got so emotional.
No, it's a good thing. Happy tears.
I suppose we all look for affirmation from those that we love, and to hear, you know, her that she's proud of me, I guess that's what we all want. Hi.
Oh, I want to introduce you.
Oh my God.
Keep it cool. Keep it cool. You're good. This is my mother, Lisa. I want you to introduce me.
You're so sweet.
So happy to see you.
Oh, that's so sweet. You must be very proud of yourself.
It's so thankful.
I am very proud of Tyler, and I'm so happy to meet you. I'm such a fan. I just love you guys. I absolutely love you.
We'll have to come back here soon, right? You know, 21st birthday
I've
month.
always wanted to come here.
Oh, well, now I know you're 21, but I'm going to take you down the road of iniquity.
I love it.
With LVP Sangria.
Thank you. Well, I know what we're doing this evening, Mom.
Yes, Tyler really struck a chord with me, and I really enjoyed meeting him. I mean, if he was my son, I'd be really, really proud of him. And you can see that, the relationship between him and his mother. I just think he's a lovely, lovely young man. Oh, well, thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Oh my goodness,
so sweet.
thank you so much.
Okay, well, we're gonna put that in the trunk.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna drink it right now. It's twist off.